What's up, guys? It's Day. Today I'm going to show you how to become a people magnet. So the thing is, what most people get wrong about becoming a people person is thinking that they need to chase, okay? You've probably heard of the phrase, don't chase, attract, right? That applies to conversations very, very heavily. The thing is, if you are constantly chasing, trying to find new people, you are going to look desperate. You want to attract people into your life, but you also want to put yourself in positions where you can do that. What most people get wrong about that phrase is they start thinking, well, no, how do I even start talking to people? I have to chase in the beginning. It's like, no, you don't have to. You have to set yourself up for success. You have to put yourself in positions where you can meet new people. However, when you're actually in those situations, your demeanor will literally change everything, okay? It will make or break the conversations and the relationships that you develop with people. Making a good first impression isn't about being a people pleaser, okay? You need to be able to establish your boundaries. You should be able to say no. You should be able to show people that you can't be walked over easily. And you also have to be able to show that you're confident in yourself, you're secure, that you are comfortable in any sort of room, any sort of people that you talk to. By showing that, you are going to come across as your most charismatic self. So how exactly do we set ourselves up for success in that way? So in terms of actually coming across as a charismatic person, you have to be able to show through your nonverbal communication that you are confident, you are secure in yourself, that you are attractive. Okay, so the way that you do that is through having confident body language. That's going to be by sitting with an open stance, okay? So what a lot of people do is they start thinking, oh, well, I'm going to close myself up. I'm going to touch my face. I'm going to cross my arms. They're going to put their hands in front of their pelvis. People make these mistakes all the time. And the thing is, you cannot if you want to actually make a good first impression. So the way that you do that is quite literally going to be by taking wider posture. That means you're going to man spread slightly. You're going to leave your torso open, okay? The reason why is because by showing that you're more open, this is exposing all of your vital organs. So the reason why we even interpret body language in the first place is because it comes from our fight or flight response. So if we see someone with open body language, they're showing off their torso, they're man spreading slightly, we're going to think of them as more confident because they are exposing themselves more to everyone else around them. The reason why that makes them seem more confident is because that shows that they're not afraid to be open and expose themselves to a possible attack. Like the way I like to think about it is that as cavemen, we had our natural instinct. Trying to hide from a creature, we're going to cover ourselves up, we're going to touch ourselves. If we're cold, we're going to grab ourselves and try to warm ourselves up. So all of these body language responses that we have are a result of those natural dangers that we found out there. And nowadays, we don't have to fight saber-toothed tigers, but we still have to fight social anxiety. We still have to be able to have conversations with people. And so even though the threat level has gone down, internally, it's still the same. So the amount of stress that someone with social anxiety faces when they are trying to talk to someone versus fighting a saber-toothed tiger, it's probably gonna be pretty similar. And we're going to react the same. We're going to close ourselves up. And so the thing is, instead of closing yourself off, what you want to do is you want to stay more open. You want to show that you're more secure. You're going to use your hand gestures. When you show your hands, you immediately come across as more trustworthy. When you're trying to make a great first impression, what you want to do is nod and smile often. And I'm also going to start doing this for future videos because it illustrates the example perfectly. But basically, if you are nodding, you are smiling while talking, it literally makes you look 10 times more confident, 10 times kinder, 10 times more approachable. The thing is, if you have a dead facial expression like this, you are not going to be inviting to other people. People won't want to come up to you. And if you start smiling while talking, it literally changes the way that you sound. So you will sound more enthusiastic, you will sound happier, you are going to attract more people just by smiling while talking. And I'm going to keep talking like this just because I know that you guys are going to notice the shift in energy, and I want you guys to start doing this for yourselves too. But basically, if you are smiling while talking, you immediately come across as so much more enthusiastic, approachable, everything. And so you want to be smiling while talking very, very often. Now, another thing, when you're trying to make a great first impression, it's not going to be by proving yourself. A lot of people, what they get wrong about great first impressions is they think, oh, well, I need to show all of the reasons why I'm great. I have to show all of these reasons why I'm super interesting. That's not what you want to do. What you want to do is you literally want to talk only about the other person. Because when you talk only about the other person, it makes them feel super important, makes them want to talk to you more. The most charismatic people are those that are focused on everyone but them. That is not to say that they neglect themselves. It just means they're outer directed. But when you're outer directed, it literally makes you come across as so much more charismatic as opposed to just talking about yourself the entire time. You don't want to talk about yourself. You want to make it all about them. And they're quite literally going to think, wow, this guy is so fun to be around. And they're going to think that you're fun just because you laugh at their jokes, just because you only talk about them. Think about the last time that someone has only talked about a specific passion of yours and kept asking you questions, was super interested in it. It probably doesn't happen to a lot of you, and that's because it's rare to find those people. But when you do find them, when you do find someone who is like that, they come across as super charismatic and you end up liking them a ton. I have this female friend, she was telling me that she went on a date with this guy, and I asked her how it was, and she was like, it was amazing. He is the most attractive man that I've ever talked to. And I was like, oh really? What made him so attractive? And she was like, I don't know. And so I asked her, I was like, okay, tell me more about him. And she told me, oh, I don't know anything about him. I was like, huh? How did you go? It was like a 2-hour date. How did you go on this 2-hour date with this guy if you don't know anything about him? And the funny thing is she told me, she was like, well, we only talked about me. And that's the thing, is that if you only talk about the other person, they literally fall in love with you. She literally fell in love with this guy because he was outer directed, just because he only talked about her. And so the way to know whether this person is interested in you, if they start being super interested in who you are after you just making it all about them, it's because they like you. It's because they're really interested to get to know you better, because they think, wow, this guy is a great listener. So overall, you just want to have confident body language. You want to stay open. You want to only make it about them. And you want to be smiling, laughing at their jokes. They will quite literally make you light up any sort of room. And so guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on TikTok and Instagram. And if you want tailored help from me, then make sure to DM me Change on Instagram. All right, later guys.